You are listening to Bedtime Dreamy Tales. Share and subscribe to our channel. Story title: The Swineherd. Once upon a time, there was a poor prince named Augustus who possessed a kingdom. Although it was small, it was enough for him to marry, and marry he wished to be. His heart was captivated by the emperor's daughter, Princess Melisande. She was renowned far and wide for her beauty and grace, but also for her high standards and aloof nature. Many princes had courted her, yet none had succeeded in winning her heart. Despite his modest means, Prince Augustus decided to venture into the unknown and ask for her hand in marriage. He knew it was audacious, but his name was well known, and he had something no other prince could offer. On the grave of his father grew a rose tree, a very beautiful rose tree that bloomed only every 5 years. It bore but a single rose, but oh, such a rose! Its scent was so sweet that when you smelt it, you forgot all your cares and troubles. Moreover, he had a nightingale that could sing as if all the beautiful melodies in the world were shut up in its little throat. With these precious gifts, he approached the emperor's palace. He placed the rose and the nightingale into silver caskets and sent them to the princess. When the emperor received the gifts in the great hall where Princess Melisande was playing games with her ladies-in-waiting, he was intrigued. The princess clapped her hands in excitement, hoping for a little pussycat, but out came the rose tree with its beautiful rose. "It's more than pretty," said the emperor. "It is charming." But the princess, upon realizing it was real, recoiled in distaste. "Ah, Papa, it is not artificial, it is real!" she exclaimed, and all the ladies-in-waiting echoed her sentiment. They were more accustomed to artificial, glittering trinkets than natural beauty. The emperor decided to see what was in the other casket, and out came the nightingale. It sang so beautifully that one could scarcely utter a cross word against it. But the princess was not impressed, and despite the emperor's tears of joy, dismissed both the gifts and the prince without a second thought. Unperturbed by the rejection, Prince Augustus devised a plan. He disguised himself by painting his face brown and black, drew his cap well over his face, and approached the emperor's castle as a humble servant seeking work. "Good day, Emperor," he said. "Can I get a place here as a servant in the castle?" The emperor, preoccupied with many requests for work, hesitated, but then remembered a position. "I need someone to look after the swine, for I have many of them," he said. Thus the prince became the imperial swineherd. He was given a wretched little room close to the pigsties, but he did not complain. Instead, he worked diligently, crafting a peculiar little pot surrounded by tiny bells. When the pot boiled, the bells jingled melodiously, playing an old tune. "Where is Augustus, dear? Alas, he's not here." The most wonderful feature of the pot was that if one held a finger in its steam, they could smell what was cooking in any fireplace in the town. This innovation attracted the princess when she heard its tune while walking with her ladies-in-waiting. Recognizing the melody, she beamed with joy. "He must be a most accomplished swineherd. Go down and ask him what the instrument costs," she commanded one of her ladies-in-waiting. The lady-in-waiting, donning wooden clogs, approached the swineherd. "What will you take for the pot?" she asked. "I will have 10 kisses from the princess," replied the swineherd. The lady-in-waiting returned with the outrageous request, but the princess, though annoyed, was too curious. She instructed her ladies to form a protective circle around her, and thus the swineherd received his 10 kisses, and the princess got her pot. Delighted with the pot, Princess Melisande and her ladies-in-waiting used it incessantly, uncovering what was cooking in every house in the town. The swineherd, meanwhile, continued crafting wondrous gadgets. Next, he created a rattle that, when turned, played all the waltzes, gallops, and polkas ever known. The princess, enchanted by its melody, sent her lady-in-waiting to inquire about its price. The swineherd, now emboldened, demanded 100 kisses from the princess. Outraged, she refused at first, but eventually conceded, bargaining down to 10 kisses from herself and the remaining 90 from her ladies-in-waiting. Despite their protests, the ladies were forced to comply, given their positions. As the swineherd was taking his 86th kiss, the emperor, standing on the balcony, noticed the commotion. Curious and suspicious, he descended quietly into the courtyard. To his shock, he he witnessed his daughter and her ladies-in-waiting engaged in such an undignified act. In a fit of rage, he hurled his slipper at their heads, sending them scattering. "Be off with you," he thundered. The princess and the swineherd were driven out of the empire, cast out into the pouring rain. The princess wept bitterly, lamenting her fate and the foolish choices she had made. As they wandered in the rain, the swineherd slipped behind a tree, washed the black and brown off his face, discarded his rags, and emerged in his princely attire. The princess, taken aback by his transformation, realized he was the same prince who had sent her the beautiful rose and the nightingale. "I now come to this. I despise you," declared Prince Augustus. "You rejected a noble prince who offered you genuine gifts, yet you kissed a swineherd for the sake of trinkets. This is what you get for your folly." With that, he turned on his heel and walked away, leaving the princess in the cold rain. She could do nothing but watch him disappear, knowing she had lost something precious due to her vanity and superficiality. "Where's Augustus dear? Alas, he's not here, here," she sang sorrowfully, echoing the tune that had once brought her joy, but now only reminded her of her loss. Prince Augustus returned to his kingdom, wiser and more discerning, while Princess Melisande was left to reflect on her actions, forever regretting the day she valued appearances over true worth. If you like this story, please give this video a like. For more stories, go to bedtimedreamytales.com. See you in the next story.